Hey, it's Emma Chamberlain. I designed these new glasses for Warby Parker, and I basically can't take them off. Like, I'm showering in them and sleeping in them. They're just that good. Go see them all at warbyparker.com. And you know what? Have a good day too. Okay? All right? Bye.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Hey guys, this is my leak and this is the podcast. I am excited to kick off this special series where I revisit an incredible event that I hosted back in 2022. It was my live podcast in New York City at Samsung Live. It is episode 171, but that episode is 2 hours long, and I wanted to break this out into bite-sized pieces because that night wasn't just a one-time moment. It was packed with wisdom and transformational insights that continue to resonate so deeply with me, and I just get the feeling they will for you too. You might be wondering, why break this up into multiple episodes? Here's why. Each speaker brought something so unique and impactful that I wanted to give you the space to fully immerse yourself in their message without being rushed. So as you are preparing for the new year and maybe you have, 20 minutes for a walk or 30 minutes in the car, I wanted to break it down so we can savor the richness of each perspective and apply these lessons intentionally to our lives. Today, we are starting with Devi Brown, a voice of calm and clarity who reminded us of the power of self-care as an act of healing and connection. Devi shared not just what it means to take care of ourselves, but how softening, both in our approach to the world and to ourselves, can be a radical act of self-love and resilience. She challenged us to rethink how we prioritize our own wellness and gave practical steps to integrate these practices into our busy lives. As we step into this new season, whatever this season may look like for you, I believe Devi's words will offer you a grounding force. So whether you're navigating transitions or processing emotions or just seeking more peace, this bite-sized format gives you the space to reflect and take actionable steps towards your own healing. So let's dive in. This is part 1. Let me know what you think about this talk with Devi Brown. So I am going to, before I bring our first guest out, I joked and I teased them backstage. I'm like, I got your professional bio and I got your personal bio. So before I bring my first guest out, I have to tell you how I met Devi Brown. I met her in New York City. We were speaking at an event similarly to this. We shared a car, and I literally fell in love with Devi. There are few people that I meet in life where I'm like, oh my God, I just keep talking. I want to keep talking to you. She is a kind person. She oozes love. She is love. I've had some wonderful, deep, and explorative talks with Devi. She helps me stick closer to my beliefs. And I am beyond excited for you guys to spend some time with her. So, her pro bio. Devi Brown is a master well-being educator, author, and entrepreneur. She currently serves as the Chief Impact Officer at Chopra Global, founded by Dr. Deepak Chopra. Understand. In addition, Devi is a founding board member of the Mental Wealth Alliance, and she also teaches at the Omega Institute for Holistic Studies. Devi spends many of her days serving as a host of the leading spirituality podcast, Dropping Gems, where she champions transformative conversations. You guys, please meet Devi Brown. All right.
Wow. You so much.
I love you more.
Should we start with some grounding?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So this is the part where I feel like y'all got to put y'all phones down for a moment.
Okay.
Gotta put them down because we getting ready to you got to feel all of it.
Let's ground into this moment, because it's not a coincidence that we're all here tonight in this city on a full moon. Full moon in Aries. Big energy. So let's take a second, and even if you're standing, I want to invite you to just kind of put your feet in a more stabilized position, maybe like this, and try to get them as flat as possible. If you're seated, I want to invite you to just get a little more comfortable where you are. I want to invite everyone now to gently close their eyes. If you feel comfortable, we're safe, we're soft. And now notice your body and connect to your breath and your chest. Allow your left hand to come up to your heart. And as you position your palm there, I want you to notice if you feel your heartbeat and connect to that rhythm. Relax your hips. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here. And we're going to do 3 breaths together. That is going to be a 4-4-4. So I'll keep the count here. Go ahead and begin an inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release slowly through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. We'll do that breath once more. You keep the count. Begin your inhale now. Hold, release, hold. Begin your inhale here. Hold. And as we get ready to release at my prompt, we'll release with a sigh through our mouths that sounds like ha. Release here. Reconnect to your body, eyes still gently closed. Invite in now an intention. Connect to my voice as I say this and repeat it silently to yourself inside. What is your intention for being here tonight? And now the next question, as we connect to the life that is more, filled with more space, more love, more purpose, ask this question to yourself silently. Who am I being called to become? Who am I being called to become right now? You can let your hand gently fall to your lap, to your side. And you can gently begin to open your eyes here. Now we're grounded.
We are ready. Thank you. Devi, I want to start with the last thing you left me with. You laid this in my lap. We were talking about purpose, and you said our gifts can only take us as far as our healing. I have not stopped thinking about that. Expound.
Yeah. You know, we're all called to become. Every single one of us has a calling on our life that is far bigger than anything we can fathom. The calling on our life has absolutely nothing to do with our job title, though that can be a vehicle for our purpose. Our purpose, our mission, what our soul came here to do, it's always evolving and expanding. And as we're at this really beautiful point in human history where gratefully mental health, emotional health, our inner world is becoming one of the most important things that we spend time with, we can only expand to the level of our own consciousness. We can only share ourselves to the level that our consciousness in that moment permits. And so when I think about the fact that each one of us has so many gifts, so many that are even dormant in this moment, like we haven't even scratched the surface, we can only really use those and live those once we clear out space. So, the biggest dream you have in your life that may sometimes feel like, why can't I get this thing? Or why isn't this happening with more ease? I feel it in my heart. I know I'm called to it. Why is it so challenging? When those moments come, it's such a beautiful invitation to say, what can I cast aside? In what ways am I getting in my own way? Especially if you come from a challenged background or have complex lived experiences that we all do. And if you're a woman of color, black, brown, anything non-white, times that by 1 million.
Right.
We get in that space and it can block everything that's good that's coming from us, including receiving love, feeling love from others, feeling celebration from others, feeling joy, and even just being able to stand in the truth of who we are. So the more we do that work to clear out space mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, the more we can actually live our purpose with ease and have the highest impact.
Thank you. Okay. Because I have all of the things. I feel like, something that I have always admired about you is the way that you treat yourself. You are so tender and kind and direct and honest with yourself. Were you always this way?
God, no.
And how did you get here?
That's been my healing journey. I'm somebody that was very rigid with themselves, highly critical of themselves all the time, always felt like I needed to be in control, fixing, doing, offering advice, showing up, doing things for other people, and that will kill you. If it doesn't physically kill you, which it literally does for some women, destroys our bodies, destroys our mental health, it will spiritually kill you. It'll kill your soul. And you'll be performing, but inside you'll feel completely empty. I don't want a life like that, And when I started doing some of the deeper work on my journey with my personal spiritual curriculum, I realized I was in deep need of learning how to meet my own needs. Right? Very often we get so upset with other people. We get so upset at the world for all the ways that things don't show up for us. But when you learn how to fill yourself, and I don't just mean that in the very kind of casual way that we see on Instagram right now. Fill your cup, sis. No. I am so sick of these memes, let me tell you.
Fill your cup, sis.
Fill your cup, sis. Like, cool. But it's really hard work. You have to unlearn everything that was a barrier from you to yourself to be able to look yourself in the eyes in the mirror sometimes. We have complex lived experiences. We have things that we walk through that no one could even fathom sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes things you experienced only you know about. So imagine the weight of that. It's very hard to connect to self-care or even hear about it and not roll your eyes and think, what's that going to do for what I got inside that no one knows?
Right.
But the more we start, the more it disarms us, it softens us, And so a few years ago, I'm somebody that has been journeying for a very long time, and I've been all over the world working with psychedelics, plant medicine, studying with different masters of different healing modalities. I believe in the power of healing. I believe in the power of somatics in your body and working with the spirit realm. And so I was on a path a couple years ago to soften. I was like, why are good things happening in my life and it doesn't feel like it? Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Those times where you're like, I know I should be excited about this. And then you get caught up in performative joy, right? Which is kind of what we've seen on social the last several years. These announcement posts, these
Yes.
fire flame emojis, 100 of them under everything. Like, You know, and all of that is good. We needed that because we needed to know we could celebrate ourselves,
Yes.
but now there's more. And I feel like that more comes when we do that work, that internal work on ourselves. We can really feel the joy that has always been there. We can feel the love that people who are closest to us are showing us. So my journey to softening was I got really highly romantic with myself.
Ooh, yes.
I am so romantic with me.
She is. I took some tips. I'm like, I spent a weekend with her and I come home and I'm like, oh, I got to do better. You know, I got to turn my playlist on. I got to like.
When we were in Mexico?
Yes. I came home like, oh, I'm done. I will be. And it's like my partner's like, what is going on back here? I lit the incense. I had my playlist going. It's like I ran my bath. I lit my candle. It was just like full romance. Like I set out my jammies. I did all of the things. Every butter cream thing that I had, I did. And I walked out like, this is amazing. And I'm like, she does this often.
Every day.
Yeah.
This is the thing I really want to convey. It sounds challenging every day, but it's not when you make it intentional, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money.
It doesn't.
It's as simple as the refresher spray I use for my curls, you know, our spray bottles. I write a note on it that says divine love, divine beauty, divine grace. Every time I spray my hair, I speak that over myself. That's free, you know, but that is high level intention. I place a lot of intention, and I don't make myself available for things that don't serve me. You know, that's how I'm romantic and soft with myself. It is that I be cream all over. I anoint myself with the things. And also, I say no all the time. I don't allow people in my life that don't have energetic exchange. You know, like I'm very direct with the people in my life. I'm very clear about who I am and what I allow in my space. And I also share love and respect to everyone else and try to connect with what their needs and intentions are. So moment by moment intention allows you to flirt with your life and feel a little bit lighter.
Your life.
I love to flirt with myself and flirt with my life.
I see it every time. Every time I spend any time with you, I come back home like I'm starting over. I'm hitting the refresh button. I fell off, but I'm back. So we're short, but I'm going to just go over a little bit short on time because I really want to cover this. Is that I said this to you: healing and wellness can feel so elusive at times. Like you see this stuff on social. We're healing. It's wellness. And, you know, it can often feel so hard to reach. Like it's something we have to always be doing. If you could just tell me what it really is and how we really access it. Because I know you know.
Okay, I want to be really honest with everybody. You do have to do it all the time. Wellness and healing, it's not a weekend vision boarding. You know, it's not just one thing. It's not one breakthrough thought. It's having the breakthrough. It's having the healing and then building supportive structure in your life that supports your healed self. It is meant and designed to be this intentional because it's meant and designed to allow your life to expand to heights you can't even imagine. But wellness, yes, it is. Take care of yourself, fill your cup, sis, have the bath, and it's shadow work. It's investigating those darker parts of yourself. It's requiring that you look to see, do my words match my behavior? Ooh. Where do I stand in my integrity? How do I treat myself? How do I treat others? It is that, and it gets easier. We just have to get our reps up in our wellness. It feels foreign at first. It also feels like you really want to reject it. Things come up. When you start trying to meditate for the first time and all those thoughts start going, and after that first time you say, it's just not for me. I think too much. I can't meditate. Yes, you and 7 billion other people that are alive. The average human thinks 30,000 thoughts a day. But it feels uncomfortable because you're doing something new and you're loosening the stuck things inside. But it doesn't mean it's wrong, and it doesn't mean it doesn't get easier, and it doesn't mean you can't do it every day. When I started my meditation practice, I could barely make it through a 2-minute guided meditation. Now I'm up to 2 hours.
Ooh.
My practice is 2 hours a day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night. Wow. But it's the steps, little by little, little by little, little by little, you will become.
Devi Brown. She will be back.
I'll be back.
Yes. Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you, Devi. Are you coming? Come up.
Want to take a question?
Oh, do we want to take it? Do we have time should Devi stay?
We have time for one question. So
okay.
We'll do one question now.
Okay.
One question.
See, this is,
anybody?
I got kids, I forgot. Devi, you want to come up? Yes. Okay. Marby, you have a question? You came. Is that your Instagram name? What's your real name? I'm up here calling people their
It's
Instagram
a nickname.
names.
It's just Barbie with an M, but my name is Michelle.
Michelle.
Such an honor to be in the presence of you both. Devi, I wanted to ask, in terms of doing the work and uncovering things about yourself, what do you do with the things you don't like?
Y'all going there today on...
You better ask that question. That is so good. What do you do with the things that you don't like? You learn to love them anyway. You learn to accept them. You learn to investigate them. So when we have like a hard charged energy about something that's a piece of us, and sometimes it can be perceivedly bad behavior, right? It could be that, you didn't make a great choice or you treated that person crazy. Investigate it. Ask yourself questions about yourself gently, but don't reject yourself. Don't hate yourself. The majority of the ways that we behave and the choices we make, they're based on our lived experience. They're based on what was or was not role modeled by caretakers in our lives, but none of it makes us defective. None of it makes us wrong. None of it makes us broken. It's really about just saying, and sometimes for those that are like this, I'm very type A, make a list. Sit down, make it soothing, light a candle, light some incense, get some wine.
Romance and flirt.
Flirt with yourself, romance yourself, because the work is hard. So do it with some gentleness, do it with some care. And just start saying, okay, I did this. Even though I feel justified in it, it does feel wrong, or it really hurt this person. So why do I do that? What made me do that? When did I start doing that? And just walk yourself back on your unique trail of who you are. But the biggest thing is, don't judge yourself for it. And just stay connected to it so you can make a different choice next time. But when we mess up on this journey, when you do have that blow up, or you make some kind of a decision that goes against who you said you were going to be, it is imperative that you learn to forgive yourself for it. That you in that moment say, God, I really forgive myself for judging myself as wrong. I forgive myself for judging my behavior. I learned this behavior because of, and make a different choice. Now, the whole point is to make a different choice. Forgive yourself to then change the behavior. But you got to meet all of it. The dark parts, the light parts, they're all pieces of us. And we have to make peace with the whole picture. Thank you for that question.
That was a good one.
So powerful.
That was a good one. Thank you. We're good? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate and subscribe. It helps more people discover the show and join in on these conversations. If you are looking for a place to continue the dialogue, consider joining my online community, My Leak in Mamas. And no, it's not just for moms, but there is a lot of big mom energy there. This is a space where we can connect on and offline. We typically dive into deeper topics, not just from this podcast, but we do talk about this podcast. And this group has been around for a few years now, and there is a real sense of belonging. So check it out at myleakandmamas.com. Also, I am thrilled to share that my new website is live at myleak.com, myleik.com. You'll find all of the details about my coaching offerings there, Right now, I am doing some one-on-one work and I'm working in small groups. So if you've ever wanted to work with me, this is your chance. I want to help you take your life and your goals to the next level. Thank you again for listening, and I can't wait to see you next time.